Imagine waking up in the morning, grabbing your coffee, and discovering that your dog has already been awake for an hour. Not only is your dog ready to start the day, he's ready to run. Then he wants to play. Then he wants to learn something. Then he wants another game. And when you finally think he's tired enough to relax, he looks at you as if to say, "Okay, what are we doing next?" Welcome to life with one of the most energetic dog breeds on the planet, the Border Collie. These dogs are famous for their intelligence, athleticism, incredible work ethic, and almost endless supply of energy. But here's the catch. Living with a Border Collie isn't simply about giving your dog a long walk. Their bodies need exercise, but their minds need a job. And if you don't give them something productive to do, they may find a job of their own. And you probably won't like the job they choose. Today, we're taking a deep dive into what it's really like to live with one of the world's most energetic dog breeds. We'll look at their exercise needs, intelligence, behavior, training, mental stimulation, common problems, and the biggest question of all, is a Border Collie actually the right dog for you? To understand the Border Collie, you have to understand where the breed came from. Border Collies weren't originally developed to sit on someone's lap all day. They were bred to work. Specifically, they were developed to help shepherds control and move livestock, and this required an extraordinary combination of skills. They needed speed, agility, endurance, focus, problem-solving ability, and perhaps most importantly, they needed to be able to think independently while still responding to human commands. For generations, the dogs that were best at working were the ones that were bred. The result? A dog with an incredible work ethic. A healthy Border Collie can run, chase, jump, learn, and work for long periods without seeming ready to quit. And that's where inexperienced owners can get into trouble. They see a beautiful, intelligent dog and think, "I'll take him for a walk every day." But with a Border Collie, a basic walk may barely scratch the surface. Here's one of the biggest misconceptions about high-energy dogs. People often assume that the solution is simply more physical exercise. And yes, exercise is extremely important, but Border Collies need more than just miles. They need mental stimulation. Think about it this way. Imagine giving an extremely intelligent person nothing to do all day. No books, no television, no conversation, no work, no puzzles, just sitting around. Eventually, they're going to get bored. Dogs can experience something similar. A Border Collie may become physically tired after running, but if their brain hasn't been challenged, they can still be restless. That's why activities such as obedience training, scent games, puzzle toys, agility exercises, retrieving games, and learning new behaviors can be so valuable. The goal isn't simply to exhaust the dog. The goal is to give the dog a purpose. Border Collies are famous for their intelligence, and that's one of the reasons they're so impressive. But intelligence is a double-edged sword. A smart dog can learn what you want very quickly. Unfortunately, a smart dog can also learn what you don't want very quickly. If you accidentally reward barking, jumping, chasing, or demanding behavior, your Border Collie may figure out, "That worked, I'll do it again." And because these dogs learn quickly, inconsistent training can create problems surprisingly fast. The good news is that their intelligence also makes them highly trainable. You can teach them basic obedience, you can teach tricks, you can teach advanced commands, you can introduce scent work, you can teach them to identify toys. You can even create little routines and games that challenge their problem-solving abilities. For a Border Collie, training shouldn't necessarily be something you do only when there's a problem. It can become part of everyday life. This is where things can become difficult. A bored Border Collie isn't necessarily going to lie quietly on the couch and wait for you to come home. They may start looking for entertainment. And entertainment from a dog's perspective can be very different from yours. Chewing furniture? Fun. Chasing things around the house? Fun. Digging? Fun. Barking at every movement outside the window? Extremely fun. Trying to herd family members? Absolutely. Some Border Collies may attempt to control the movement of children, other pets, bicycles, cars, or anything else that catches their attention. Remember, the instinct to control movement comes from their working background. It's not the dog being bad. It's a behavior that has been extremely useful for generations. The challenge is teaching the dog where that behavior is appropriate and where it isn't. One of the most fascinating things about Border Collies is the way they can focus on movement. You might see a Border Collie staring intensely at a ball, or watching another dog, or tracking someone running across a field. This intense focus is part of what makes them such remarkable working dogs. But inside a household, it can sometimes create challenges. A dog may become obsessed with chasing bicycles, running after cars, hurting children, or repeatedly chasing a ball without knowing when to stop. That's why responsible ownership includes teaching an off switch. Your dog needs to learn not only how to work, but also how to relax. This might sound strange. Why would you need to teach a dog to relax? Because some high-energy dogs don't automatically understand when the day is over. They can become conditioned to expect constant activity. Walk, play, training, fetch. Another game, another walk. And suddenly you're wondering why your dog seems even more energetic. That's why structured downtime matters. Create a predictable routine. Give your dog a comfortable place to settle. Reward calm behavior. Don't respond to every demand for attention with another exciting activity. And remember, rest is part of the training. A dog that can run for hours but can't settle peacefully in the house isn't truly balanced. The goal isn't to create the most exhausted dog possible. The goal is to create a dog that knows when it's time to work and when it's time to relax. So, what is everyday life actually like? For the right owner, it can be incredible. You may have a dog that eagerly waits for the next training session, a dog that learns new commands quickly, a dog that loves interactive games, a dog that can accompany you on hikes, runs, outdoor adventures, and other activities, and perhaps most importantly, a dog that forms an incredibly strong partnership with its owner. But there's a trade-off. Your schedule may need to revolve around your dog's needs more than it would with a lower energy breed. You can't simply assume that feeding your dog, opening the backyard door, and taking a short walk will be enough. A Border Collie needs interaction. They need exercise. They need structure. They need mental stimulation. And they need consistency. One of the biggest mistakes people make with energetic dogs is trying to solve everything with physical exercise. The dog is hyper, so they exercise the dog more. The dog is still hyper, so they exercise even more. Eventually, you may accidentally create a canine athlete with incredible endurance. In other words, you may train your dog to become even better at staying active. Instead, think about balance, physical exercise, mental stimulation, training, socialization, rest, and calm behavior. All of these pieces matter. So who is the ideal Border Collie owner? It doesn't necessarily have to be a professional athlete, but it should be someone willing to make the dog part of their lifestyle. Someone who enjoys spending time outdoors. Someone who enjoys training. Someone who is patient and consistent. Someone who understands that having a brilliant dog also means having a dog whose brain needs something to do. A Border Collie can be an incredible companion for an active household. If you're looking for a dog that is happy sleeping most of the day with a couple of short walks, this probably isn't the breed for you. And that's not an insult to the breed. It's actually the opposite. The Border Collie's energy is part of what makes it special. The key is putting that energy in the right place. Here's the biggest lesson when living with an extremely energetic dog. Don't fight the energy. Direct it. Give the dog appropriate outlets. Teach useful behaviors. Create routines. Challenge the brain. Provide physical activity. And teach calmness. A Border Collie doesn't need an owner who is constantly trying to suppress its natural instincts. It needs an owner who understands those instincts and knows how to channel them. That's the difference between living with a frustrated, destructive dog and living with an amazing canine partner. So, could you live with one of the world's most energetic dog breeds? A Border Collie can be brilliant, athletic, affectionate, focused, and incredibly loyal. But that intelligence and energy come with responsibility. This isn't a breed you simply exercise. It's a breed you engage. You challenge its mind. Give it structure, you teach it how to work, and you teach it how to relax. Do that, and you may discover that living with a Border Collie isn't exhausting at all. It can actually be one of the most rewarding relationships a dog owner can experience. In the description, there's a link to sign up for a free dog mini course and discover the secrets to raising a well-mannered, house-trained dog that always responds when you call. In just 6 days or less, you'll master the steps to housebreak your dog while learning how to teach essential obedience commands. You'll also learn how to end unwanted behaviors like excessive barking, jumping, leash pulling, nipping, or biting. Transform your pup into the perfect companion today. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you subscribe for more fascinating dog facts.